Hi guys, Mab here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Mab and I do anything and everything DIY. So if that's your thing, do not forget to smash the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to know the moment I upload a new video. And for today's video, obviously, we will be doing a makeup tutorial on the Exorcism 1973. And if you'd like to see how that goes, then keep on watching. Alright, so first step would be to put your hair tie on or your wig cap or your hairnet, whatever you have there. And then second would be to start working on your scars. As you can see, I already did a few. She still has one here and then two here. So I'll show you how to do that. First thing, we'll be needing our spirit gum. Place that on the part where you'll be putting your scar wax on. I don't know what you call this, but these are tools you use to shape out your fondant for baking. Sculpting tools. If you have that, better. Now, start on tapping on the spirit gum. I don't know if you can hear that, but you'll hear it getting sticky and having web-like consistency right there. So once you have that, that's ready. And heads up, this is going to be really messy at first. Get your scar wax, scrape off just a few to start off. Apply pressure as you go. Scrape off some more if you need some. Just create the general shape of the scar that you'd like to create. Now, the deeper the scar, the thicker the wax that you would have to use. Just be sure to thin it out outwards. Now, as you can see, that's really, really rough and patchy. Now, I'll start working on that and smoothing it out. And I'll just fast forward this because you would have to really take your time on this to really shape it out. Now be sure to scrape off the excess and hold your skin opposite towards where you're scraping it out. So instead of pulling out the wax itself, it's going to be staying in place. And then again, avoid using your fingers, your hands, because the warmth of your hand will melt the wax. Or maybe depending on the wax that you're using, but I got a really, really cheap one. You can get one on any online shop, Amazon, Shopee, or whatnot. Alright, of course you don't have to be super OC like me. Now I'm pretty happy with that. So we're now going to be carving out the wound itself. And just do it slowly again. Hold your skin in place so you would not be pulling off the wax. But instead, so you can keep your skin in place. I mean the wax in place on your skin. Now I'm good with that. This one is the longer one. We'll put a shorter one in here and on the nose. Now here's a super close-up on the nose. It stings a bit on the eyes and it has a strong smell. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to get sticky. So now would be the best time to apply our scar wax on the nose. And it's going to be a lot easier here because it's not as malleable, as mobile as your cheeks. You know what I mean? It doesn't move as much as the fats and muscles on your cheeks. Same as the one on your forehead. That's like the easiest scar. And yeah, my skin got a bit irritated, but not because of the product, but because of moving the product around way too much. So be sure to do a skin test first, especially if you have sensitive skin. I don't. So after washing this out, like using a makeup remover or a coconut oil to remove the makeup later on. Wash my face at least 3 times. My skin's gonna be okay. So I'll just fast forward this to smoothen and shape it out. Add more if you like. Again, the thicker the wax, the deeper the scar. You can also push it in. Just trying to even it out as much as I can. Then I'll remove the excess later on after thinning out the edges. So I'm pretty good with that. I'm just going to be creating another scar in here, a shorter version of this and not as crooked, I guess. And I'll just do that off cam, then I'll be back. Alright, so we're now all good with the scars, and that's actually the hardest part. All you have to do now is paint your face and your neck a really, really pale foundation. And you can definitely use either a brush or a sponge. Just be really, really careful with regards to the perimeter of the wound, and especially the wound itself. Now, just testing out if this foundation is pale enough, and for me it is, and it looks ashy, so that's good. And of course, before you proceed on to the foundation, be sure to take care of your brows first, okay? Now to do that, I'm just gonna use Elmer's washable school glue. That's the purple one. Now apply that onto your eyebrows. Go back and forth, left and right on a swiper motion, so we can make sure to get all of your hair, your eyebrow hair. Now before that dries out, get a tissue and wipe off the excess. And just flatten that out with whatever tool you have. You can also use the back of your brush, your makeup brush, any makeup brush. For me, I'm just using the same sculpting tools that I have earlier, and just cleaned it off with a paper towel. Make sure to really flatten that out. Again, for any excess, just use a paper towel. Now, while we're letting that dry, let's go back to the foundation, okay? I'm using here a very fluffy contour brush. Now, of course, for the tighter areas, we're going to be using a blending brush. Now, when it comes to the wound, to the scars, just be sure to tap that in, like stipple it lightly, very lightly. You wouldn't want to disrupt the wax. Now just continue on layering it some more if you need to, because you have to have like no eyebrows. Now I'll just continue applying the foundation on my face and my neck, then I'll be back. And of course, if you would need to mix it up with a white face paint, just to make it paler, that's up to you. Or if you have that white foundation, I guess that was from NYX. Alright, now that the foundation is done, by the way, you don't have to be really OT on blending it out. The patchier, the better. We're just gonna set it up with a loose powder, a yellow one. Now, I'm just gonna open the pan for this because I would really like to pack it in so it will look paler than it already is and ashier. Alright, now that's pale enough for me, like undead enough. So what I'm just gonna do now is, you can either use a face paint, a red lipstick, or red eyeshadow to put that on your eye bags. And I'm just gonna use the same brush that I use for my foundation, because you don't have to be really blendy with this, just be messy, it's fine. Or you can just use your fingers. That's too red. So let's just use again the same brush that we used earlier with the foundation to lighten that up. Now we'll be using a dark brown and a medium brown eyeshadow. Basically medium brown for the eyelids and then dark brown for the crease, because she ain't sleeping. That's the effect that we're gonna get. We're planning to get it. Now again, you don't have to be really good at blending for this. She's kind of dim, so she's the last person to hear about blending. Plus, you're not trying to look pretty, but you're trying to look like shitty and scary. Now I'm gonna use I don't know what you call this, but it's a denser round brush for the crease. And of course we're gonna be using a darker brown for that. We're basically applying it not just on your crease, but on your upper eye socket. So I think we need black. It's not brown, like dark brown enough. Just layer it all out until you look, tired enough. And bring that down to the outer thirds of your eye bags, not your eyes. Basically putting like a yellow, a light colored eyeshadow on my eyelids to define the tiredness. I think I'm good with that. And again, you don't have to be precise. It's a Halloween makeup. Now, we'll be using the green and yellow and blue. Like this royal blue. To dab on her face because she looks like pretty much like a zombie undead. She's got tints of green and yellow and blue. So just scatter that all over your face. Just dab it with a really, really light hand. Now onto the yellow. Put some on your neck as well. Now to deepen the eye bags a bit more, I'm just going to use a black face paint. I know that looks stupid. Just use the same blending brush you have earlier that you used for your foundation. Now I'm just going to be using the smallest brush that I have. Dip it on the black face paint and then define the insides of the wounds, okay? And again, you don't have to be precise with this, okay? Now I'm going to be using a lipstick brush and draw a really messy eyeliner. Like a really dark brown one. Or a black one if you'd like. I'm going to try to use a black one. And just blend it out a bit. Let's define the eye bags. And I'm using a black face paint for this. And I think that's it. What I'm just gonna do now is clean the same lipstick brush that I used for the wounds and dip that on the edible gel blood. Put that all over the insides of the wound. Now be sure to apply that as well. Not just on the inside, but slightly outwards. There you go. Now I'll just put it on the rest of the wounds. And oh, before I forget, put that, like create cracked lips. Just like so. And there you have it. We're all good. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate that. If you did like it, enjoyed it, or at least learned something from it, please do not forget to hit on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn your notification bell so you'll be the first to know the moment I upload a new video. And as always, if you have any comments, questions on what we did, or suggestions, please feel free to put them all down below or hit me up on Instagram, and it's me, Mavmam. You now have a good one. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much again for watching. Bye-bye!